how good does that car look. This is stupid, it's insane. Big enough thanks can't go to our sponsors. Literally, this would not have been physically possible without them. We got the Street Pro 009 series wheels. We got Hoosier that jumped on board with tires. We got the spray sauce that helped with paint. We got Drift and Dreams with the knuckles. We got Swinflower that helped with the paint boost so we could actually paint this thing. We got the new anti-gravity lithium battery, which makes this thing turn over like crazy. It sounds like a pro mod. We got Quick Performance with the new diff. Jegs, of course, helping with heads and just absolutely everything that we could possibly ever need. We got SRP pistons, Michigan Motorsport, and of course, Renegade fuels. Literally could not have done it without these guys. All right, let's get into the full video of building this mother effer to get it where it is today. Alrighty, now, just like we had Swinflower awesomely supply us with the booth, we also have an incredible paint sponsor on board. Alpha Automotive Paints, also that you get from the Spray Sauce online. Tom came on board and hooked us up with this killer kit. We're painting it the cognac color, which you will see coming is insane. We're gonna go with like a kind of like candy brown kind of look with gold accents. So he gave us absolutely everything that we need. We've got clear, we've got the pre-mixed, like it's all ready to spray base coat. So literally shake it up, mix it up, spray it down. We've got our primer, which also is our sealer. So we'll pretty much use this as a ground coat that will spray down first. So we're gonna mix up some of that now and put that down on the jam. Alrighty, so we're ready to paint. Tom was nice enough to send me this Tamco spray gun that they've done in collaboration with the Spray Sauce. This thing looks freaking sick. I'm super grateful he was able to send this to me. Just got the pressure and the reg set. Now the good thing is, with this cheat sheet, you can literally scan these QR codes and it gives you a step-by-step process the whole entire way. The complete car kits that they send are insane. Like literally you select what size car you want, what color you want, everything comes that you need. All of this stuff, it is so good. We're starting off with the DTM primer. We are doing it as a sealer, so a 4:1:2 ratio. Let's get this bitch in color. Alrighty, so I'm gonna start with the sealer. Quick base coat, make it all black, use it as a ground coat. The black's not going to be that exciting, so I'll smash that down and then come back to you once it's black. Alrighty, the car's officially black. Friggin' rubber hose ripped that off last second, so that's annoying. But other than that, front bar's black. Everything's looking good. You can still see through that light, there's a little bit of overspray, or not overspray, I guess it's overspray or solvent in the air. Had to use a tire to weigh it down because there's a breeze coming through the shop, so it's just like trying to lift this portion of the booth. But we've got air coming in there, pushes it, and then we've got the extraction fan with this crazy filter over here, then pulling it out this way, and then it goes through the orange hose, back out behind the booth. So super filtered, and it's still pulling a lot of it through. But I'm liking the look of this. Now we're on to stage 2. Now we're getting into base coat and actually getting the color on the car, which is super exciting. I'm going to give this 5 more minutes, because you can see that side of the roof still flashing off. And it's time to send it. All right, we've got our first lot of base coat in the gun. I'll post the camera up for a time lapse. Let's go. Alright, first coat of ground coat down. I'm very happy. Very happy man. Coming out great. Yes, love it. Alrighty, that is 1 coat in. 2 more to go. Then he says a good half coat of just dusting over it for the flake and everything. So let's jump in at that third coat before we do the dust coat. Okay, that's 3 coats. Now it's time for the dust coat. So I'm just going to go lightly, twice the pace, a little bit more distance. Just try and get better coverage with it all. Alright, that is with both dust coats. Looking good. Now it's time for the fun part, the clear coat. Ooh, a little bit of paint there. Alright, now we're on to step 3, which is the exciting step. Oh my god, I'm so dirty. Step 3 is clear coat, which is undoubtedly when either all of your stuff-ups come to fruition or when it is the icing on the cake and this thing comes alive, which is crazy. Now I've done it pretty wet, putting it down before, and then I did 2 dust coats over it, so should look half decent. We'll go in the booth and check before we lay down clear. But now I've also got to pull apart the gun and change over the tip, go from a 1.4 to a 1.3, tighten it up a little bit for clear coat, and this is where the magic happens. Damn. So this is without clear coat, it even looks this freaking good. I'm extremely happy with how flat it is. I think it's time for clear coat, baby. Got one small fry up in the engine bay, but it doesn't bother me too much. But for prepping this myself and doing everything myself, pretty happy. Normally I have Jace to help me, but Jace is on the other side of the world, so he can't help me this time. Right, now we're up to the clear, the fun stage. So it's 2 parts clear to 1 part activator. So we've got a slow activator here. So I'm going to make 3 cups now so that there's no downtime between coats, between like areas where I need to refill the cup. Let's go. Let's go. Man, this Johnny turned out pretty freaking good. Hell yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see this in the sun. The towers in the engine bay always look the best. Always a good spot to look at. Oh. Love me a bit of brown. I am very happy with how this turned out. I worry that this part here is maybe a little dry because it was so far away I wasn't paying attention. But by the time I got to the front bar in clear coat, it was so hazy in here that I almost couldn't see what I was doing. Couldn't see where I was going. So it was a little bit of a how you going. Bloody hell, it looks good though. Camera looking pretty freaking good. What do you think, Tony?
Fucking yes. Looks sexy.
Alrighty, the paint is now dry enough to the touch that we can unmask and the shit that's going to fall off isn't going to get stuck in the paint. Done, unmask, baby. Alrighty, so it's Sunday. Damn, look how good that freaking looks. Sunday, I've got all the trims on. Everything is pretty much ready to take the engine back. But obviously being Sunday, Brad's not here. I just gotta wait for the engine to be reassembled. We should have everything, and by now, I think the heads will be done as well. Yesterday, I wanted to take on a really cool project because I wanted more things to be wow factor for the hat. So I bought a bunch of fine line tape off Amazon and stuff, watched a couple YouTube tutorials. In fact, I watched this like 2 months ago, and yesterday I just wanted a project, so I just decided to roll my sleeves up and wing it. And I didn't film like any of it, but I did some cool shit. Look at these lowrider graphics. So this is with a ready-to-spray gold flake that I then dumped a whole little thing of Limeline's candy concentrate, which you can also buy off Amazon. Dumped a whole thing of that in, a tiny bit of the body color, because the gold flake was a little too much of a yellow gold to me. Now you should see this thing out in the sun. It is absolutely wild. But the flake is extremely aggressive. So I bombed 4 coats of clear on it. I'm going to let it dry for at least another day. Rub it back down with 600. Bomb it again with another couple clear coats, a couple layers of clear coat. And then it should be really glassy across there and make that flake and candy really pop a lot more. But what I'm going to do for my Sunday project is I'm going to install the knuckles from Driftin' Dreams. We can have a look and see how much extra angle this bad boy is going to get. So we got our factory steering angle marked out. You can actually see, so the car's dead straight, but you can see the difference in that line to that line, which gives us our Ackerman, which means when we put the knuckles on, it'll also be able to show us what our Ackerman is. Now, for those people that don't understand what Ackerman is, if this wheel is at full lock, say turning this way, and it's at, let's say 45 degrees, your other wheel won't also be at 45 degrees. It'll probably be at 38 degrees, let's just say. So we got 38 degrees, 45 degrees, theoretically. Now that is so that a car can turn nicely. When you're drifting or doing burnouts, that Ackerman plays a huge role with how the car tracks, how it steers, how it drives, how it chases itself, how aggressive it is when it turns back and forth. There's major things with Ackerman, and being a street car, the Ackerman's pretty junk for what we're trying to do. So with the Driftin' Dreams knuckles, they don't make it a crazy adjustment. It's not a pro FD car. They make it so that it's still streetable and still drivable with the amount of Ackerman that these knuckles have. But it should make it a lot better, well, a lot nicer to steer, more angle, so it should be really nice. I'm really excited to try these, so let's get them on. Alrighty, new knuckle in. I've just got the tie rod end from the other side. I've already cut and mounted the other side. You've got to cut 10 mil off the end of this so that the tie rod doesn't max out when it's in there. I've still got the tape on there. But that side's all back together, ready to go. Just got to cut this off, chuck it in the car, put the wheels on, then we can see how much more lock it's got. I gave it a 2-second toe and go just to try and get the wheel straight, but oh yeah, that looks so good. Damn! Look at that! Look at that lock! That is insane. That's freaking sick. Next upgrade I'm going to do is the battery. We've had an Optima in there for a couple years and it's been pretty reliable, but I noticed towards the end of the last trip it was definitely starting to lose its power. I've never put the thing on charge and it always looked after us and always did good. So the fact that it was starting to show its wear and tear, I thought why not upgrade it? And I'm trying to do my best to get weight out of this thing, so I'm going to pull that 40 kilo battery out and put in this, what, 5 kilo anti-gravity battery. This is a lithium battery. This thing is absolutely badass. Look at this thing, 2000 CCA, absolutely crazy. And if this battery seems to go dead in the car and you're stuck in the pits, you have 2 little remotes that you can hit, or you can just press this little button just here, and it has a built-in jump starter. You can jump start yourself literally from a remote. It is so freaking sick. All right, let's get this thing in the wagon. Out with the old, in with the new. Alrighty, so today we're back on the injector hat. Time to wet sand and re-clear. As you can see in here, sounds like 40 grit sandpaper. So just going over it all, leveling it out. Then I'll flow coat it, should really bring out the candy and the gold. Should be really nice. I've been waiting to do this, and it's been hot enough, 35 degrees plus, which is like nearly 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Give it 2 days, this thing's pretty much cured. Enough so that it's sanding. All right, quick update, 400 and then 600 with this really cheap sponge off Amazon, and it's come up $1 million. It is flat enough now that I think when I put these next layers of clear on, should look like glass even over the flake. Oh, I'm actually really excited. But again, it's gonna be a hot ass day out there, so gotta wait until this afternoon before I can even paint it. So I'll just keep sanding, keep refining. Oh yeah. All right, clear on the hat. Gave it another 3 coats just because that's how much I mixed, even though it was a tiny bit in the gun. The hat obviously doesn't take much. So now we just let this dry. And this afternoon should be able to see it out in the sun. Well, I better peel that tape while there's still a wet edge. Right. Today's, what is it, project? That's a very little seat. Oh, I nearly went through that. Is we're going to paint the header tanks to match the car and then do some similar stuff like I did with the hat, the lowrider kind of stuff. But I want to add this dash 16.
I've got a sugar scoop, a Harbour Freight welder, and a dream.
Oh, because I had just a spin-on filter on that dash 8. And doing the 360s, it'd just throw it and fill the engine bay with oil, and it was always a mess. So I'm putting this dash 16 on there just to help get vapor and crap out of there. So I can decide where it vents to instead of venting in the engine bay. The Dime King. All right, just hit them all with some sealer just because there were some raw bits. I got Jack to MIG that fitting on, so you will, it'd rust if it wasn't painted. And it was raw. So to have it actually all match, I'm just gonna hit it with some black just so that it's all the same color. Painting the lid as well so that it matches, so it looks cool. Just gonna let that flash off and then I'll hit it with some body color. The best thing about this body color is the fact that it's pre-mixed, ready to go. So you literally crack the tin, mix it up, make sure all the pigments are mixed through it, pour it in the gun and start spraying. It is the best. Air hooked up, pressure's set. Now, pretty much the formula to the color is just 3 medium wet coats, although pass a little wet because that's just what I did on the car to make them match, and then 2 dust coats. So I'll come back once those are done. There's header tanks done in the body color. I am so glad that I did this. It was Rochelle's idea. I was on the fence because I was like, body color will look sick, match the body. But then I was like, black will still be good because then it'll match the engine. And then with the lowrider style graphics, it's just going to match the hat then. The hat's black. But I was like, either's going to look cool. I don't know what to do. And then Rochelle was like, do body color. I asked the boys what they thought. They said body color. So I'm definitely very glad that we went with that because that's going to look freaking sick. And then I remembered I forgot 2 trim pieces. So I got them in color 2. Now I got to let these sit overnight so that I can tape them all up. Not worry about peeling that off because that is really scary, and it's going to be extremely scary when it does come time to peeling that off, peeling off the tape. So I'll let that sit at least until like later, till tomorrow. Make sure that is proper dry because I'm terrified that once I lay my graphics down and spray the gold, I'm going to peel all the tape and all the color's going to come with it. So very nerve-wracking. Instead of taping the whole thing, I'm going to tape as bare minimum as possible and then plastic wrap the rest so that it just all comes off quickly and easy. Oh yeah. All right, pour it in the gun, spray it down. What I was absolutely terrified about with this process was getting the tape off and not peeling the base coat underneath. But we got kind of the opposite. Oh, hell yeah, it just rolls off with your finger. The glue from the cheaper painter's tape, big blue painter's tape, stuck to the base coat. But, as we just found, roll it off with our finger. Saved it. Nice. All right, let's go do the other one, and then we can clear coat them. Alrighty, it is officially time to wet sand. Jack and I just got back from our penny pinchers dinner. We've been doing it all week now, trying to say we're living life on a budget, going to Macca's and getting the $5.50 dinner deal. And now, because it's cool outside, Lissa came past with some sandpaper for me so I can wet sand this thing because I got 29 bucks to my name at the moment. So that were nice enough to get me some sandpaper so that I could get to the next stage of doing this. So Jack's in there slaving away. I'm going to put some hours in on wet sanding this bad boy so we can try and get it super glassy. Because especially, I don't know if it's because I sprayed it when it was super hot or if it's just a skill issue, but as it's shrinking back, yeah, look on the front door there. The orange peel is kind of aggressive, so it'll be really fun and really nice to level it out. Fun. Why the hell did I say fun? The worst part about this is nothing beats rolling a car out of the booth for the first time because you feel like the paint looks absolutely incredible. Then you got to take 50 steps backwards to take one step forward. I feel like every time I've done wet sanding part's easy, you get it quite nice, but then the buffing to bring it back, whoo, good thing I got Tony and Seth, actual detailers. I'll try and do most of the brunt of the work, but I really feel like they're going to have to bring it home to actually make it look good again. All right. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so that is 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000. And I don't know if you can't really see it on camera, but it's already getting its reflection back at 3,000 grit, which hopefully means that buffing won't be too much of a nightmare. And holy crap, this is so insanely smooth. So big hopes. I'm trying to be super anal about keeping the pad clean or keeping the disc clean. Like literally sand for 3 seconds, wash all of that clear coat off. That's why it's so messy and wet here. I'll mop afterwards, but just clean it, keep it clean, keep it clean, keep it clean. Go through the grades. Hopefully this comes up as good as I think it's going to, because it's going to be insane. Process is come along. Once I've wiped the panel off, make sure it's clean. Just try and find any dust nibs. What the hell? Freaking none on this panel. Winning. See if there we go, I can find one here. I can feel some pretty big ones on this door. Just try and make sure it's as clean as possible. All right. One just there, so I just come with dry 1,000. Just knock the top off it. Because you don't know if that's dust or anything trapped in the paint. And the last thing you want on the orbital is for that to be picked up and then stuck in the pad, and then you put pigtails all through the paint and make it an absolute nightmare to try and get anything out. Like that one there, that's either dust or a bug. Go through, do that over the panel. And then 1,000, not going too close to the edges. 1,500, slightly go on the outside of the perimeter of the 1,000. 2,000, go outside that perimeter. 3,000, outside that perimeter until you've covered the whole panel. Mainly just because you're starting with the 1,000 and then you put like 1,000 grit scratches in it. Every grade you're going up, you're just trying to remove the scratches that you've just put in there. And if you've dug any holes or gouges or anything like that, it makes it a nightmare to buff it out and get it out, and you're chasing your tail forever, and that scratch will always be there. So forget exactly what I was talking about, but I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh yeah, that's why I go perimeters out, because it's harder to buff around the edges because you don't want to burn through the corners. So I try to stay away from the edges until I'm at the final grade, so when it comes back to buffing, it's one pass instead of having to bury it to try and get your scratches out around the edge of the panel. All right, back to the machine. We're on to the click stick phase. It's a big old quick stick too. Alrighty, so I have no idea what day it is now, but got the heads back. I put them on myself, which is freaking sick. Used Jack's help to make sure I was doing the right thing, but did it myself, which is fucking cool. Now, well, actually, Brad came in, checked all the push rod lengths, make sure they were still good because new heads, different type of head gaskets to what was on it. So just make sure that's all good. But now I am putting Jack's old covers on it because he got a new set of Michigan covers, which looks sick. Because we're going to paint this Johnny, make it look sick, and then let it dry overnight, and then tomorrow we're going to have a running driving car. Let's go. Alrighty, so it is now 2 days until Ice Cream Cruise, and as of last night we finally had the long engine completely together, and then I painted it. No idea if I filmed any of that, I probably didn't, but I also didn't film putting the engine in. The engine's in, and putting the blower on now. Man, I used to always think people were sissies for putting their blowers on using the engine crane, but it is a game changer. I am an idiot for never doing it. Makes it so easy to like place it smoothly as well. One thing we're running into, aftermarket heads. They've got a little, you can see out where I've taken a bit of material off just there to get the manifold to sit. I'm going to take a tiny bit more off just to get the manifold to sit. As you can see on this side, oh yeah, perfect. So because I don't want to risk getting any metal shavings in the engine, I took a tiny bit off the heads this morning, taped up the ports. This time around, I'm literally just going to take a bit, literally like a freaking mil off the corner of the manifold. Then should sit good. This would be a moment that I would be absolutely pissed if we had to take this off by hand. Engine crane, doesn't matter. Alrighty, I'm going to quickly shave those off with the air Dremel. Chuck it back on and bolt her on. Alright, so a bit of oil pressure there, might miss a lot of stuff, but yeah, just filled it with oil. Haven't got the plugs in it or anything, and literally just sat on the starter just to prime it, make sure I'd get oil pressure, and we can check for leaks. And that's not a leak, that was me just overfilling the clear view when I was priming it. Yeah. Nice. All right, put some plugs in it, coils in it, ready to fire.